Michael Jackson was a very famous American singer, songwriter, and dancer. People everywhere knew him as the King of Pop. He changed music and dance forever. He was one of the most important people in music of the past century. Michael's fame was truly incredible. Millions of fans around the world loved his songs and watched his amazing dance moves. From a young age, he showed a special talent that made him a global icon. He started singing as a child with his brothers in a group called the Jackson 5. They became very popular. But Michael also became a huge star on his own. His albums, like Off the Wall and Thriller, sold more copies than almost anyone else's. Thriller became the best-selling album in history. He broke barriers with his music videos on TV, bringing his unique style to everyone. His music was magic. His songs made people feel happy, sad, and full of energy. When he danced, he moved in ways no one had seen before. He taught the world the moonwalk and other special steps. He brought joy to many through his art. However, Michael Jackson's life also had many challenges. He faced a lot of public attention and difficult questions. There were stories in the news about his changing looks and private life. He had to deal with many rumors and hard times. This book will take you on a journey through his life. We will explore his amazing talent and his rise to the top. We will also look at the controversies that followed him. What was the real story of Michael Jackson, the man behind the legendary music and the global fame? Let's uncover the truth about the King of Pop. 2. A Little Boy Sings. Michael Joseph Jackson was born in Gary, Indiana on August 29, 1958. He was the 8th child in a large family, living in a small 2-bedroom house on Jackson Street. His father, Joe Jackson, worked at a steel factory and played guitar in a local rhythm and blues band. His mother, Catherine, was also musical. She played instruments and had dreamed of being a performer. In 1964, Michael and his brother Marlon joined a band with their older brothers, Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine. This group was first called the Jackson Brothers. Michael, who was only 6 years old, played congas and tambourine. Their father, Joe Jackson, was their manager. He was very strict and pushed his sons to practice for many hours. He often sat with a belt to ensure they made no mistakes. Michael later shared that his childhood was difficult and often lonely because of this intense training. Soon, Michael began singing the main parts of the songs, sharing lead vocals with Jermaine. The group's name officially changed to the Jackson 5 in 1965. They traveled and performed a lot in the Midwest, playing in many clubs and at high school dances. People quickly saw that young Michael was a very special talent. He was incredibly young, but had a powerful, clear voice and amazing dance moves that captured everyone's attention. In 1968, the Jackson 5 recorded their first song, Big Boy. Not long after, they signed a big contract with Motown Records, a famous music company. The family then moved from Gary to Los Angeles. Motown's leader, Barry Gordy, helped the group become famous across the country. In 1969, they made their first big television appearance, and the world began to see Michael's undeniable skills. He quickly became known as the main singer and star of the group. Their first song with Motown, I Want You Back, quickly became a #1 hit in the United States in January 1970. 3 more songs also reached the top of the charts: ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. These songs made the Jackson 5 a huge success. While still a young teenager, Michael also started to release music by himself, separate from the group. Between 1972 and 1975, he made 4 solo albums for Motown. These included Got to Be There and Ben, which had popular songs like the title track Ben and Rockin' Robin. However, the Jackson 5 felt frustrated because Motown would not let them write their own music or choose their own songs. They wanted more creative control over their sound and future. 3. A big star. After his early success, Michael Jackson and his brothers left Motown in 1975. They signed with Epic Records and changed their group name to the Jacksons. During this time, Michael became the main songwriter for the group. He wrote popular songs like Shake Your Body, Down to the Ground. Michael also acted in a film called The Wiz in 1977. This film was important because he met Quincy Jones, who would later produce his solo albums. In 1979, Michael released his 5th solo album as an adult, Off the Wall. This album showed he was a great solo artist. It helped him move from teen pop music to more grown-up sounds. Off the Wall had 4 songs in the top 10 in the United States, including Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You. The album sold more than 20 million copies around the world. Michael won a Grammy Award for Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Even with this success, Michael felt he could do even better with his next album. He wanted to make a bigger impact. He did just that with his 6th studio album, Thriller, released in 1982. Thriller became the best-selling album in history. It sold an estimated 70 million copies worldwide. It stayed at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart for 37 weeks. The album had 7 songs in the top 10, including Billie Jean and Beat It. Thriller made Michael Jackson a huge global star. It also helped to break down racial barriers in music. Before Thriller, the music television channel MTV did not often show videos by black artists. But the videos for Billie Jean and Beat It were so popular that MTV had to play them. This helped other black artists get their music on MTV. Michael's music videos for Thriller were like short movies. They changed how music videos were made and viewed. In 1983, Michael performed with his brothers for a TV show called Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever. During his solo performance of Billie Jean, he showed a new dance move. It was the moonwalk. He wore a special glove with shiny stones. The moonwalk quickly became his famous signature dance. People everywhere were amazed by his performance. It was a historic moment in music and dance. Michael Jackson had truly become a big star. 4. Around the world. After the huge success of Thriller, Michael Jackson continued to surprise the world. In one unfortunate event, during the filming of a Pepsi commercial in January of 1984, something unexpected happened. Pyrotechnics, which are special effects with fire, accidentally set Michael's hair on fire. He suffered second-degree burns on his scalp. Pepsi later paid a settlement for this accident. Michael generously donated $1.5 million of this money to a medical center. They later named a burn center after him. Michael also used his fame to help others. In 1985, he worked with singer Lionel Richie to co-write a special song called "We Are the World." This song was created to raise money for people in need in the United States and Africa. It sold over 20 million copies and became one of the best-selling singles ever. The song also won 4 Grammy Awards. Then, in August of 1987, Michael released his next album, Bad. People waited eagerly for this new music. The album quickly became a massive hit. It was the first album to have 5 songs reach #1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart. These hit songs included I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Man in the Mirror, and Dirty Diana. Bad sold more than 35 million copies around the world. To support the album, Michael went on the Bad World Tour. This tour started in September of 1987 and lasted until January of 1989. It was incredibly popular. In Japan, Michael performed 14 sold-out shows for 570,000 people, setting a new record. He also set a record at Wembley Stadium in London, with 7 sold-out shows and 504,000 fans. This tour showed that Michael was truly a global music star. However, during this time, public interest in Michael's private life grew. Tabloid newspapers began to write many stories about him. People noticed changes in his appearance, especially his skin color, which became paler. The media often speculated that he was bleaching his skin. Michael later shared that he had a skin condition called vitiligo, which causes skin to lose its color. He used makeup to make his skin tone even. Reporters also wrote strange stories, like him supposedly sleeping in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber or wanting to buy the bones of the Elephant Man. These stories marked the beginning of intense media attention on his personal life. 5. Good and Bad Times. Michael released his new album, Dangerous, in 1991. This album presented a fresh sound, mixing pop music with the energetic rhythms of New Jack Swing. People loved it, and it became a huge success.
The album sold more than 32 million copies around the world, showing how popular Michael still was. Many songs from Dangerous became big hits. For example, Black or White quickly rose to #1 on the music charts and stayed there for many weeks. Another popular song was Remember the Time, which also reached the top of the charts. Dangerous was named the best-selling album of 1992 worldwide.
During this time, Michael also focused on helping others. In 1992, he started the Heal the World Foundation. This was a special charity created to support children in need. The foundation invited children who faced difficulties to visit his Neverland Ranch, where they could enjoy the fun rides and attractions. It also sent millions of dollars to different parts of the world to help children who were suffering because of war, poverty, or serious illnesses. In January 1993, Michael made history with a memorable performance. He sang at the Super Bowl 27 halftime show. This was not just any show. It was a massive event with over 133 million people watching on television. Amazingly, more viewers tuned in for Michael's halftime show than for the football game itself. He performed a mix of his biggest hits, including Jam, Billie Jean, Black or White, and Heal the World. This incredible performance greatly boosted his album's popularity, causing Dangerous to jump 90 places on the U.S. Albums Chart. However, a very difficult and sad period began for Michael. In 1993, serious accusations were made against him. The father of a 13-year-old boy claimed that Michael had sexually abused his son. Michael strongly denied these claims, saying they were not true. The father reportedly asked Michael for a large sum of money, $20 million, which Michael refused to pay. After this, the father went public with his accusations. Police started an investigation, searching Michael's Neverland Ranch and interviewing many children. However, they found no medical or physical evidence to support the claims. No criminal charges were ever filed against Michael. He later made a financial agreement with the family to stop the civil lawsuit, but he always maintained his innocence. These stressful accusations deeply affected Michael's health and career. He suffered from great stress and became ill. He was already taking pain medicines for problems from a past accident, and the new stress made him rely on them more. Because of his health issues and the pressure from the accusations, Michael had to cancel the rest of his Dangerous World Tour in November 1993. It was a very challenging time that took a heavy toll on him. 6. A new family. After the difficult times, Michael Jackson wanted to share his story. In June of 1995, he released a new album called History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1. It was a double album. The first part had his greatest hits. The second part had new songs where Michael spoke about how the media treated him and the past allegations. For example, the song Scream, a duet with his sister Janet, expressed his feelings strongly. Critics noted the album was a musician's personal statement. It quickly went to #1 on the charts and sold many millions of copies around the world, becoming one of his best-selling albums ever. During this period, Michael also had important changes in his personal life. In 1994, he married Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley. This marriage was short-lived, ending in separation in December of 1995. Soon after, Michael found happiness again. He married Debbie Rowe, a dermatology assistant. They married during his History World Tour in Sydney, Australia. Debbie was already 6 months pregnant with their first child. Becoming a father was a very important moment for Michael. Their son, Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., known as Prince, was born on February 13, 1997. Then their daughter, Paris Michael Catherine Jackson, was born on April 3, 1998. Michael now had his own new family. The History World Tour itself was hugely successful. It lasted from September 1996 to October 1997. Michael performed 82 concerts across 5 continents, in 35 countries and 58 cities. More than 4.5 million fans came to see him, making it his most attended tour. It showed Michael's strong return to the stage and his enduring fame as the King of Pop. 7. Difficult years. Michael Jackson released his album Invincible in 2001. It was his first album of new songs in 6 years. The album was very expensive to make, costing $30 million. Invincible was number 1 in 13 countries and sold 8 million copies around the world. But Michael had big problems with his record company, Sony Music. He wanted to leave his contract. He even called the head of Sony a racist and said he treated black artists badly. Sony then stopped working with him. In 2003, a TV documentary called Living with Michael Jackson was shown. A filmmaker spent many months with Michael. The show created much discussion and concern. It showed Michael holding hands with a 12-year-old boy and talking about sleeping in the same bed with children. Michael said these sleepovers were not wrong and that people misunderstood him. Soon after this, more serious problems began. In December 2003, Michael was accused of child abuse again by authorities in Santa Barbara. He was charged with 7 counts of child molestation and other charges. Michael said he was innocent and pleaded not guilty. The trial started in January 2005 in California. This time was very hard for Michael, causing him a lot of stress and affecting his health. If found guilty, he could have spent up to 20 years in prison. However, on June 13, 2005, Michael Jackson was found not guilty on all charges. The court said he was innocent. After the trial, Michael became very private. He left his famous home Neverland Ranch in June 2005 and never lived there again. He moved to Bahrain. During this time, Michael faced serious money problems. He had many debts, over $270 million. He had to use his music assets as a guarantee for new loans. To save money, the main house at Neverland Ranch was closed. He also had to pay fines. These were truly difficult years for Michael Jackson as he dealt with his personal and financial struggles. 8. The Last Show. Michael Jackson announced a major comeback to his fans around the world.
He would perform a special series of concerts called This Is It in London. People were incredibly excited to see the King of Pop return to the stage after many years. The demand for tickets was huge. More than 1 million tickets for the London shows sold out in less than 2 hours, which was a new world record. Because so many people wanted to see him, the number of concerts in London was increased to 50 dates. These shows were planned to run from July 2009 to March 2010. Michael moved to Los Angeles to begin his intense preparations. He worked hard with his choreographer, Kenny Ortega. For weeks he rehearsed every dance move and every song, getting ready for what would be his final big return to performing live. He aimed to make This Is It an unforgettable experience for his fans. Sadly, the concerts never happened. On June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson died suddenly.
He suffered a cardiac arrest, which was caused by strong medicines given by his personal doctor. This tragic news shocked the entire world and left millions of fans in disbelief. A wave of sadness and grief spread across all continents. News of his death caused internet websites like Google, AOL Instant Messenger, and Twitter to slow down or crash because too many people were trying to find information about him. Television channels, including MTV and BET, immediately changed their schedules to play his music videos and documentaries for hours. Millions of people around the globe watched his memorial service, which was held in Los Angeles, remembering the King of Pop. His 11-year-old daughter, Paris, spoke publicly for the first time, sharing her deep sadness with the world. Michael Jackson's legacy is powerful and will last forever. He completely changed music, dance, and fashion, and he inspired many artists who came after him. His iconic music videos were not only entertaining, but also helped to break racial barriers and change popular culture. He also used his fame and money to support many charities, especially those helping children in need around the world. His unique artistry, humanitarian efforts, and global influence left an undeniable mark on the world for more than 40 years. What is your favorite memory of Michael Jackson's music or performances?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.